Today I'm going to answer a very commonly asked question. Can you buy a home with no money? Now this is none of your own money, not just no money in general because that would be weird, but can you buy a home with none of your own money? If you're new to the channel, my name's Justin Yaron. I'm a real estate investor and entrepreneur here in Las Vegas. I've made hundreds of videos teaching people about real estate, money, and self-development. And the goal of this channel is to help you grow your money and your mindset. But to answer the question, can you buy a home with no money? Yes. Yes, you absolutely can, and it's very possible, and here's exactly how. I'm just gonna give you 3 ways today of how you can do so. There's a lot of ways, but there are 3 basic ways that I think most people can do as far as buying a home with none of their own money. Keep in mind, if you're wanting to buy a home with none of your own money, you still have to put in the work, either yourself or someone else, to find the deal. Because no one's gonna bring you a deal, pay for all the money, and then pay you. Like, that doesn't work. Like, you have to do something in order to get paid. But here are the top 3 ways that you can buy a home with no money. Number 1 is the equity split. So here's what I mean by equity split. You would say find a deal on your own, and you don't have any money to buy it on your own, or you don't wanna wholesale it. You just wanna take it down, you wanna purchase it, you wanna flip it or hold it as a rental. Here's a really common way and a really easy way, I think the easiest way, to buy it with none of your own money is to pretty much split the deal with someone else who has the money and can bring the money to the deal, and then you guys just split it. Whether it's 50-50, 60-40, whatever you guys want to do, you can just do that. And if you're just starting out, like this is the literal first deal, and you find a deal and you want to bring another person in the deal with the money, you have 2 options for that person. 1, the person can be very experienced with real estate, they can know what they're doing, they can have their contractors already and their systems in place, or you can go to the person who has absolutely no experience in real estate and they just have money. And so there are 2 options. Of those 2 options, either work. Like, you can use both of those people's money to buy the deal. But here's what I'll say. If you're starting out, I would opt for and choose the experienced person. Reason is because you're gonna learn a lot more from them. Why? Because they have their contractors, their systems, they flipped houses before, they bought houses before, so they know how the process goes, and you can learn so much from them, even if they do charge you a higher split. So maybe they take 60% and you get 40%, but you learn a ton. In my eyes, the first couple deals you do are pretty much entirely about learning. What did you learn from the experience? Even if you lost money, I see that as a huge win because you've learned from the experience. So that's the number 1 way, in my opinion, to buy a home with none of your own money, is just split the deal, do an equity split with someone who brings the money and you find the deal. Number 2, do a private money loan. Now this is kind of similar to the last example, except in this example, instead of you splitting the equity, so splitting the profits 50-50 or 60-40, you're instead gonna just have them give you money for the purchase of the home, and then from there, you're gonna pay them back in interest, whether it's monthly payments or like a lump sum at the end, whatever you guys work out. But the concept's the same. You're finding the deal, they bring the money, but instead of you splitting it, you just pay them interest on their money. And if you're just starting out, I still think this is a great way to get into real estate and buy a home with none of your own money, but it will require you to do a lot of the work, learn on your own, and probably fail on your own as well. Because if you don't have anyone with experience giving you any type of guidance, naturally you're gonna make mistakes, and that's okay. But you have to be comfortable with those mistakes, and you're gonna be using other people's money with just your experience. So it's not a bad way to buy your first deal with none of your own money, but I just wanna caution you that there are risks to that, to your reputation and to the actual profit. The 3rd way to buy a home with none of your own money is to utilize both private money, kind of what we just talked about, and hard money together. And here's what I mean. First, if you're unfamiliar with the term hard money is a term that a lot of lenders are. Some lenders lend specifically for fix and flips. Like these hard money lenders, they don't care so much about your credit score and all these other things about you. They just care about the deal. And they'll charge higher % interest rates. They'll usually charge points to give you money, but they'll be able to lend on fix and flips, whereas a lot of conventional lenders don't want to lend on fix and flips. They want to lend for like rental properties, or if you live in the home, for the long-term loan. But hard money lenders, they're short-term loans, like 6 to 12 months, and high interest rates. That's pretty much what a hard money lender is. And in this scenario, if you're using both hard money and private money to use none of your own money, here's what you can do. You can go to a hard money lender. They'll provide you most of the loan. So if you're buying a home for $100,000, let's say they give 90% of the purchase. They're like, oh, we can loan on 90% of 100,000, which is 90,000. Well, that leaves you with 10,000 left of the down payment plus closing costs. Well, you can find that $10,000 or with change from another person, like a private money lender, just like the previous two examples. And instead of you asking that person to provide cash for the entire purchase, you can just go to them and say, hey, like, I need $10,000 or so for this down payment. Do you want to lend on this? I'll give you a return on your money. And some hard money lenders are okay with it, some are not, and that's perfectly fine. But just know, if you're gonna go this route, find a hard money lender that is okay with you using another person's money for a down payment, and that's called gap lending. So by you getting money from a private money lender and getting money for the down payment, that money is the gap, because it's the gap between you buying the property and not buying the property. So these are 3 super simple ways for you to buy a home with none of your own money. Again, to recap, it's an equity split, it's you getting a private money loan, and then it's you combining hard money with private money to use hard money plus gap funding. So those are 3 simple ways you can buy a home, none of your own money. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're a wholesaler anywhere in the US and you have a deal or a potential deal you want to partner on, DM me on Instagram the word partner. I'll happily partner with you because I've partnered with plenty of people before, and I'll make sure that you learn from it and get paid from bringing the deal to me. And if you don't already follow me on Instagram, you can DM me on Instagram at JustinYou'reWrong, and I'll make sure to add my username right here. But thanks so much for watching. I'll see you the next one.